Stop what you're doing right now. Because what's about to happen today is not just some storms rolling through. This is not a regular weather day. We are talking about softball-sized hail, 80 miles per hour winds, and tornadoes dropping in broad daylight directly over some of the most populated cities in America. And the part that scares me the most? All three of these things are happening at the same time. Today, this afternoon, I'm going to break down exactly what's coming, exactly where it's hitting, and exactly when, so you and your family stay safe. So do not click away. Because the next few minutes could genuinely matter. Let me be honest with you for a second. I cover severe weather a lot, and most days I can tell you, hey, there's a risk, stay aware, it'll probably be fine. Today is not that day. The Storm Prediction Center, America's official severe weather forecasting agency, just issued an enhanced risk. That is the third highest category on their scale, and it covers a massive area. Dallas all the way to Little Rock, Jackson, Mississippi, Shreveport, Springfield, Missouri. Enhanced risk means multiple hazards at the same time in the same area. Hail, wind, tornadoes. All three are on the table today. And beyond that enhanced risk zone, there's a large slight risk covering Nashville, Birmingham, and back into Missouri. Then a marginal risk stretching from eastern Kentucky all the way back toward San Antonio. This is a widespread, dangerous setup, and it peaks this afternoon when people are out, driving, at work, running errands. So let's talk about each threat individually because each one deserves your attention. The wind threat today is the most widespread of all three hazards. Here's what's going to happen. A massive cluster of thunderstorms is going to organize this afternoon into what we call a squall line. And when that happens, it essentially becomes a giant wind machine pushing across hundreds of miles at once. We are expecting gusts of 60 to 80 miles per hour. Now, I want you to actually picture that for a second. 80 millibars is not windy day wind. That is the kind of wind that pulls trees out of the ground, that sends patio furniture flying across yards, that flips unsecured trailers on highways. And the Storm Prediction Center placed a SIG wind designation on today's setup. That label only gets used when 75 plus mph gusts are likely. It is not routine. They don't throw that label around casually. If you are in Dallas-Fort Worth, Shreveport, Jackson, or Little Rock, I need you to do one thing right now. Go outside, look around your yard, and bring in anything that can become a projectile, trampolines, chairs, anything loose. Do it now before the storms arrive, not after. Okay. This is the threat I am personally most concerned about today, and I think it's the one that most people are underestimating. The hail threat near Dallas-Fort Worth and Shreveport today is extreme. We are not talking about pea-sized hail that dents your car a little. We are not even talking about golf ball hail. We are talking about softball plus sized hail, 3.5 inches in diameter, falling from the sky at over 100 miles per hour. Let that sink in for a second. A softball from the sky. At 100 mile/h, that destroys cars completely. It shatters windows, it punches through roofs, and if you are outside when it hits, it will hurt you badly. The supercell thunderstorms that are going to develop near Dallas and Shreveport today are specifically set up in an environment that favors extremely large hail. The atmospheric conditions are almost textbook for giant hail production. And here's the part that makes this really serious. Over 5 million people live in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area. 5 million. And a large portion of those people have their cars parked outside right now with no shelter. If you are in Dallas, Fort Worth, Plano, Denton, Arlington, or Shreveport, and your car is outside, please move it to a garage or covered parking before early afternoon. That one action could save you thousands of dollars in damage. Baseball-sized hail is also possible across a broader area, from San Antonio up through Springfield, Missouri, and into Memphis. This hail threat is not just a small pocket, it is regional. Now let's talk tornadoes. There is currently a 5% tornado probability officially issued for a large area, Dallas, Shreveport, Memphis, Little Rock, and essentially all of Arkansas. Now, I know 5% sounds low, but in meteorology, a 5% tornado risk over a defined area means we fully expect multiple tornadoes to touch down today. That is not speculation, that is the forecast. And honestly, I would not be surprised at all if that gets upgraded to a 10% risk near Dallas, Fort Worth, and Shreveport as we get closer to peak storm time this afternoon. The ingredients are there. The atmosphere is particularly favorable for tornado development from Wichita Falls, Texas, all the way through southeastern Arkansas. That wind shear, the atmospheric ingredient that makes thunderstorms rotate, is maximized in that corridor today. All of Arkansas needs to be on high alert this afternoon and evening. There is also an isolated tornado risk stretching as far east as Birmingham, Lexington, and Louisville. If you're in those areas and you have not thought about what you would do during a tornado warning, think about it right now, seriously. Interior room, ground floor or basement, no windows. That's your spot. Let me walk you through exactly how today unfolds. Because timing matters. Knowing when the worst is coming gives you a window to get safe before it arrives. This morning, a cluster of storms is already moving toward Oklahoma City along the Red River Valley. These early storms will mostly produce large hail and damaging winds. They could also slightly limit how explosive the afternoon storms get in some areas, but do not count on that protecting you. 1 to 2 p.m. This is when the supercell tornado threat starts ramping up near the Red River Valley. If you are in Texas or northern Louisiana, this is your final window to get everything secured and start monitoring weather alerts. 3 to 4 p.m. Peak danger window. Multiple supercells are expected around Dallas-Fort Worth. Eastern Arkansas will have a large storm cluster producing 60 to 85 milliliters winds. Softball-sized hail is possible. Tornadoes are actively possible at multiple locations simultaneously. If you are in the enhanced risk zone, be indoors by 3 p.m. That is my strong recommendation. 5 p.m. The storms will be directly over Dallas-Fort Worth, Denton, Fort Worth, Plano. The entire metro could have multiple supercells overhead at the same time. If you work in the city and you have any flexibility at all, leave early. Get home before 5, 6 to 7 p.m. A very intense line of storms pushes through Mississippi with a significant wind threat. Meanwhile, supercells continue from Dallas-Fort Worth into northern Louisiana, still producing large hail and tornadoes. 9 to 10 p.m. Storms push toward the Texas-Louisiana border and begin to weaken. After midnight, most of the threat dies down. This is primarily a daytime and evening event, which is actually both good and bad. Good because it means you can see it coming and respond. Bad because millions of people will be awake and out during the worst of it. If you are in Tennessee or Kentucky today, you are in a better position than the enhanced risk zone, but you are not off the hook. Whatever energy is left over from the main storm cluster will move through this area during the evening hours. There is a damaging wind potential west of and around Nashville. A low-end tornado or two cannot be ruled out. I do not expect severe weather to be intense here compared to what happens further south and west. It is a marginal risk. But marginal still means something is possible. Stay aware. Keep weather alerts active on your phone. Do not assume you are totally in the clear. Now, if you are in Virginia, North Carolina, or the D.C. area, pay attention here, because this affects you too, just one day later. On Wednesday, as this storm system continues shifting east, a tornado risk develops along the East Coast. And I want to emphasize, this is rare for the East Coast. This region does not see tornado threats often, and because of that, a lot of people there are not mentally prepared for it. The highest risk area on Wednesday will be around Richmond, Virginia, up toward Washington, D.C., and out toward Norfolk. Isolated spin-up tornadoes are possible. The Wednesday timeline runs from roughly 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. This is not going to be a major tornado outbreak. We are probably talking 1 to 2 tornadoes, some scattered damaging winds, and some large hail. But for people who are not used to getting tornado warnings, this can catch you off guard fast. If you are in that region, have your weather app ready Wednesday afternoon. Know where you would shelter. A spin-up tornado can go from warning to touchdown in minutes. Once the system clears out, what happens next? There will be some relief. This weekend, Sunday into Monday, looks noticeably calmer for most of the country. That is genuinely good news after a brutal stretch of active weather. But here's the thing. Monday could bring another round of severe weather to the Ohio Valley, depending on how a low-pressure system develops over the Great Lakes. And by the middle and end of next week, another significant severe weather setup looks increasingly likely. Because May is coming. May is peak severe weather season. In the United States, historically the most active month of the year. And the pattern we are locked into right now strongly suggests this is not slowing down anytime soon, so get comfortable staying weather aware. This is not the last video like this you are going to need to watch this season. Before you close this video, here are the 4 things I want you to actually do right now. 1. If you are in Dallas, Fort Worth, Shreveport, Little Rock, Jackson, or anywhere in the enhanced risk zone, move your car to covered parking before noon. Hail this size will total an unprotected vehicle. This one action could save you thousands of dollars. 2. Turn on weather alerts on your phone right now. No AA. Weather app, Weather Channel app, whatever you use, make sure severe weather push notifications are enabled. It takes 90 seconds. Do it. 3. Talk to your family today about your tornado plan. Where do you go? Which room? Who grabs the kids? Having this conversation before a warning sirens makes a massive difference. Interior room, no windows, lowest floor. 4. Between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. today, if you are in the enhanced risk zone, stay inside. No unnecessary trips. No, I'll just run to the store real quick. I just stay in. None of this is dramatic. All of this is practical. And all of it matters. Look, I know weather content can feel like background noise sometimes, but today is different. Over 5 million people are in the direct path of this storm system in Dallas-Fort Worth alone. Millions more across Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Louisiana. These are real people, real cities, real cars and homes and families. If someone you know is in any of these areas, send them this video, tag them, text them the link. It takes 5 seconds and it might actually matter. We are going live today as supercells start developing, probably somewhere between 1 and 4 p.m. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you do not miss real-time updates as the storms move. Until then, stay inside, stay informed, and please move your car. Stay safe out there.